Welcome to Lesson 2 of Finding Your Way. In this lesson, we are going to discuss what makes this course different from other similar courses. There are a number of online courses around spiritual topics. The teacher will usually attempt to explain to you some of their views on the psyche, or reality, or how the two relate. They may assign you some homework or reading to do in between lessons. This course is going to do those things as well, but it will also do far more. This course will not only teach you about spirituality and magic, it will also use magic to help you grow much faster than you otherwise would. The course itself has been designed energetically to gently expand not just your understanding of reality, but also your capacity for understanding reality. There will be regular practices throughout the course to help you expand the capabilities of your mind and the reach of your psychic abilities. In addition, you will regularly throughout the course receive carefully structured energetic transmissions using an energetic technology I created after I became enlightened called the Buddha particle. The Buddha particle allows a person to crystallize any aspect of their conscious experience and transmit it to others. The Buddha particle is like having white glove delivery of an understanding or mode of perception directly into your energy structure. It unpacks inside of you in a way that's specifically designed to be optimal based on your current level of growth. And once you become sufficiently clear, it is a technology that you can use to transmit your understanding to others. The first 5 chapters of this course will give you a solid grounding in some of the fundamentals of this particular method of spiritual seeking, as well as some of the basics about our reality and the ways in which we all move. The clearings and transmissions during those chapters are largely designed to help you to focus and to deepen your understanding of these topics without moving your understanding orthogonally into a new realm of experience. Starting in Chapter 6 with the discussion and transmission of enlightenment, you will start receiving attainments that will fundamentally expand your perception of reality in novel and remarkable ways. Each of these is like a new tool to add to your mental toolkit, whereby you can interact with yourself and reality in more effective ways that lead to less suffering in your experience. You may be wondering what you will experience with these transmissions. It depends on a number of factors. First, how much time you have spent focusing on sensations will have a strong impact on how aware you are of the movement of energy through your body. If you have taken a Vipassana course, which is a type of body-focused meditation, or you have studied somatic noticing or Qigong or similar techniques, you will have a much easier time getting a sense for the subtle sensations moving through your body as you receive transmissions and work magic. In Chapter 4, we will spend some time discussing sensations further and their fundamental importance for your spiritual growth. Second, your current level of psychic ability will shape the extent to which the sensations you experience are tinged by psychic knowing, allowing you to get a better understood sense of the changes occurring in your energy structure as a result of the transmissions. Finally, your beliefs will always shape your perception. No matter how powerful my magic is, if you simply don't believe magic is real and energetic transmissions are possible, you will likely feel very little of the transmission. Each of these transmissions will lead to changes in your energy structure regardless of the extent to which you feel the changes. However, for a full experience of these transmissions, take some time in Chapter 4 to really dig into the Vipassana techniques taught there. If you have the time, you may want to consider a multi-day meditation retreat or even a 10-day silent retreat. The Vipassana Association offers free 10-day retreats around the world, and I highly recommend them. The technique is taught by S.N. Goenka in the tradition of Seagyi Uba Khin, and while somewhat boring and monotonous, will ground you in your sensations better than anything else I have come across. A link to their website is in the resources section of this lesson. Chapter 4 will also include an exercise to help you expand your psychic potential. I recommend that you do the exercise frequently once you have learned it until you start to develop a stronger sense of psychic knowing. This will provide you with many benefits, one of which is a fuller and better rounded experience of the transmissions that are on offer. Before we launch into any direct transmissions, those begin in Lesson 4, we can start with a pretty cool exercise now, known as the hypersphere expansion. We'll do this one twice, since it takes a bit of getting used to. I'm going to ask you to visualize certain things, one after the other. At a certain point, you will reach a place where you feel you are unable to visualize what I'm describing. Try to do it anyway. You might be surprised by what happens. All right, here we go. Close your eyes and imagine a zero-dimensional point, a single dot at the center of your mental field. Now imagine a one-dimensional line expanding in a single direction from that zero-dimensional point. Now take that one-dimensional line and rotate it around the zero-dimensional point in the second dimension to make a two-dimensional circle, with the point at the center of the circle. Now take that two-dimensional circle and rotate in the third dimension around the one-dimensional line radiating from its center to make a three-dimensional sphere. Now here's where it gets fun. Take that three-dimensional sphere and rotate it around the two-dimensional circle in the fourth dimension to make a four-dimensional hypersphere. For most people, they won't be able to directly visualize that last instruction, but they will feel a sense of movement inside the blackness of their mind. That is the sensation we are specifically working to experience in this exercise. It's the sensation of dimensions folding, as though reality is folding in on itself in order to create the hypersphere. It's a sensation that is almost always present when powerful magic is being consciously worked. When you are experiencing these sensations, your mind is quite literally expanding itself into a more multidimensional framework. This allows you to begin to perceive how the objects and events around you are only a single facet of a much larger multidimensional construct that is projected into our familiar spacetime. Every time you do this exercise, you will become able to perceive a bit more of the hypersphere while deepening your connection to this folding sensation. If you did manage to visualize some of the hypersphere, that's awesome. Some people have reported being able to see faint edges and ideas of the thing as it exists in a four-dimensional reality. Keep at it and see if you can go even further than this exercise provides by trying to rotate into the fifth dimension or beyond. At that point, it's like folding a thing you can't perceive around another thing you can't perceive in a direction you can't perceive. Yet somehow, your mind understands the intent and attempts to move along that axis as best it can. Let's try this one more time. Close your eyes and imagine a one-dimensional line expanding in a single direction from a zero-dimensional point. Now take that one-dimensional line and rotate it around the zero-dimensional point in the second dimension to make a two-dimensional circle, with the point at the center of the circle. Now take that two-dimensional circle and rotate it in the third dimension around the one-dimensional line radiating from its center to make a three-dimensional sphere. Now here's the fun part. Take that three-dimensional sphere and rotate it around the two-dimensional circle in the fourth dimension to make a four-dimensional hypersphere. Did it feel different this time? Were you able to perceive any more of the hypersphere or feel additional movement in the blackness of your mental field? Keep working at it and see what comes. This is one of those exercises that always yields dividends over time. In the next lesson, we'll discuss the primary teachings of this course and why they are so important for healing our world. Until then, be well.